Hi everyone, this is going to be my 1000 subscriber Ask Me Anything video. Thank you to everyone who asked questions, and thank you for 1000 subscribers. At the time of recording, I do believe we are a little bit over 1,000, but yeah, I don't know how long this is going to be. I really do want to answer every single question that I've been asked, so this video may end up being very long, and if you end up sitting through the entire video and listening to it all, then more power to you, because I do want to give everybody the courtesy of answering all the questions that were asked. I can't promise that my answers to the questions will be the best, but I will try my best to answer them the best I can. So, yeah. I tend to ramble quite a bit when answering questions. So we'll just kind of see how it goes, I suppose. But yeah, sit back, relax, maybe get a snack and a drink or something, or throw this on while you're working on something, or I don't know, if you just want to sit there and listen, or lay down and listen, that's good too. Also, sorry if my air conditioner is loud. It is quite warm, and I don't really want to turn it off, but unfortunately I sit right underneath my vent, so if it is a little bit loud, sorry about that, but anyways, there goes me rambling again. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. Alrighty, so I saw this question asked a few times by a few different people, so I figured that I would just answer it at the beginning so I don't have to answer it multiple times. And that question is, why did I start my YouTube channel, or why did I start making audios? So I started making audios because I met a friend last year, and she just so happened to be the first person in my life who ever gave me a compliment about my voice. She told me that she found it to be very relaxing, very calming, and just very, kind of soothing. And it kind of took me by surprise because, I've never heard anything like that before. And I won't lie, I got a bit emotional hearing that. And at the time, I had been listening to audios myself for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months. And throughout that time, I was kind of thinking about starting to make them myself, because I do have an interest in voice acting and voiceover, and just, I thought it would be kind of like a fun hobby to sort of pick up. And I thought maybe making audios could be sort of like a way to get started in that sort of area. Yeah, I was kind of thinking of making audios, and then I met my friend, and she told me all that stuff, and, a couple months later, I talked to her about making some videos, and I wasn't really too sure if I wanted to, and I was having doubts, and ultimately she kind of gave me the push to start, kind of gave me the encouragement to give it a try just to see how it goes. And I kind of just went from there. I took her words of encouragement and the compliments that she had given me about my voice. I took them to heart, and I hoped that I could make audios that were helpful for people, and, in whatever way they could be. Because for myself personally, listening to audios was very and has been very helpful for myself, and I figured I'd give it a try, and hopefully in turn my audios could be helpful for other people just the way they were for me. So yeah, I'm really glad that I started. I never imagined I would be making as many as I have so far, or meeting as many cool people as I have. I never thought I'd be making an AMA video to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, I hope that answered that question. I feel like I kind of rambled on, but it is what it is. So anyways, now we can get on to the questions that you guys asked me. So let's see here. The first set of questions comes from that random dino waifu. And the first question here is my favorite food. I would say my favorite food is probably tacos. I really love Mexican food in general, just as a whole. And obviously there's lots of very yummy and very tasty food out in the world. But for me personally, I love tacos. There's a couple that could probably come close, but tacos, I think, are my number one. Favorite movie / TV show. I would say my favorite movie is The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. It's probably the movie that I watched the most growing up as a kid. And for whatever reason, it was the only Lord of the Rings DVD that I had. I didn't have the first or the third. I only had the second one. So yeah, I've watched it the most out of those three movies, or just out of the trilogy. The Lord of the Rings overall is my favorite trilogy of movies, and I just kind of fell in love with them as a kid, and they hold a very special place in my heart. And yeah, but I would say the second one, The Two Towers, is my personal favorite movie. For my favorite TV show, I would say that Sons of Anarchy is probably my favorite show. It's like a show about a motorcycle club and like rival gangs and stuff like that. For those who might not know, it is, I think, 7 seasons long, and I believe I've watched it all 4 times. I don't know. I think it's an exciting show. There's a lot of kind of everything I like in a show. But yeah, I would say that's my favorite show. Next question is, do you watch anime? And if so, what is your favorite one? Yeah, I do. I kind of started watching anime towards the end of high school or maybe even after high school. The first anime I ever watched all the way through was Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Um, I would watch little bits and pieces of it as a kid growing up, but I fully watched it all the way through kind of after high school, I think. And if I were to pick a favorite anime, I would probably say Haikyuu, which is a volleyball anime for those who might not know. Even if it's not Haikyuu, then it's definitely Hunter x Hunter. I have watched Haikyuu the first 3 seasons, I believe, 3 times all the way through, and the 4th season I've only watched once. Hunter x Hunter, I believe I have watched twice all the way through, and I really enjoy both of them a lot. They're both shows that I would recommend people to watch. But as for like current anime and stuff, I'm currently watching Bleach. I'm currently watching the newest season of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I recently finished the newest Demon Slayer season. I don't watch as much anime right now as I once did. I just don't really have the time other than to watch kind of just the newer shows, or at least pick a select few newer shows that I want to watch, and those are the ones currently that I am invested in. So, yeah. Next question is, how did you come up with the name for your channel? To be honest, it's really nothing super creative or special. My nickname, or I guess one of my nicknames, is Brando. And I just kind of slapped the word audios on the end. So it's really not the most creative channel name, I guess, by any means. But I don't know, I feel like it rolls off the tongue pretty well. It's, something kind of personal for me, so it kind of made sense, I feel like, to make that my channel name. Next question is, do you ever lose motivation to post? I don't know if I necessarily lose motivation to post. I would say it's sometimes difficult to find the time to both record and edit an audio, especially at the moment. But I think just creating audios in general is something that I think about pretty much every single day. Whether it's trying to look for scripts to record or just to read casually for fun, whether it's trying to write a script of my own, trying to think of ideas to maybe try and improv for an audio. I have the motivation. I just sometimes, like I said, don't have the time. Sometimes I'm a bit too much of a perfectionist about how my audios sound, or, the quality just overall. There's been plenty of times where I record something all the way through and I listen back and I just I don't like it. So then I have to go and record it all over again and hope that I like it the next time. It is a kind of a bad habit, and I'm trying my best to kind of break that because, I'm kind of my own worst critic when it comes to that sort of thing. And considering I'm the only one listening and editing the audios, ultimately everything is up to me. And if I don't like it, then I'm not going to put it out. But yeah, I don't necessarily think I lose motivation necessarily. It's just currently I don't have the time, or sometimes I just don't really feel up to recording or editing or anything like that. It's just kind of like a day-to-day thing. But yeah, like I said, I pretty much think about making audios in some capacity pretty much every single day. So let's see, this is the last question from that random Dino Waifu. Is YouTube something you want to pursue forever, or is it just temporary? So I started this YouTube channel just to try something new and kind of as a hobby. I frankly don't know if I'll do this forever. I know that I'm enjoying it right now, and I don't think I will stop anytime soon. As long as I enjoy it, I will continue to make them. And, if time goes on and one day I don't want to make them anymore, then I will decide that then and there, I guess. But I don't think you guys have to worry about me not making them anytime soon, because I do genuinely enjoy it a lot. And yeah, like I said, as long as I continue to enjoy it, I will continue to make them. So yeah, I hope that I answered your questions all right. But yeah, thank you for asking them. I do appreciate it a lot. Thank you. The second set of questions comes from Tori, who asks, do you enjoy any weird food combinations? I don't think I eat anything necessarily that would be considered weird. I think the only time I've been told that something is weird is I told somebody once that if I'm out of bread, but I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I have a tortilla, then I will just put it in a tortilla, and they thought that that was kind of weird. I feel like it makes sense. Maybe it's weird. I don't know. I don't think it's that weird. I feel like it makes sense. But other than that, I don't think I eat any sort of weird food combos. And I feel like it's only weird if other people think it's weird. So, I don't really know. I don't think so. Next question here. What would a world that is only populated by your clones be like? Ooh, to be honest, it'd probably be kind of boring. Myself, I feel like I'm not the most exciting person in the world. Like, I feel like I'm pretty laid back and kind of keep to myself. And I'd rather, like, I'm one of those people who just wants to kind of chill at home and not really go out and do a lot. So I feel like if the world was just populated by a bunch of clones of myself, we would probably just kind of hang around, eat food, watch, movies or TV or anime, I guess, and just kind of hang out. Like, it'd probably be a pretty chill and laid back world. We'd probably all get sick of one another at some point and go our separate ways. And then we'd have some moment where we're like, all right, I kind of miss that guy. Let's go hang out and see what he's up to. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be the most exciting place, but it would be very kind of chill and relaxing. So I don't know, who's to say? I guess I'll only know the true answer if it was to ever happen. Next question here. Do you like traveling? If yes, what are some of the best and worst experiences you've had? Or if you want to travel but haven't had the chance yet, where would you like to go? To be honest, I haven't really traveled to many places. The only real place I've gone to is like Hawaii, and I went there when I was a kid, so I mean, I liked it when I went there. I thought the beach was cool, the ocean was cool, um, the island was very beautiful, but I think the older I've gotten, the less that I like the beach, so I don't really know if I would want to go back. Because, like, I don't know, I feel like the whole point of going to Hawaii is going to the beach and all that stuff. But as far as places I want to travel to, I would really love to go to, like, Korea or Japan, or just kind of places in Europe. I don't really know exactly where because Europe is a really big place and I'm sure there's lots of great places to visit. But other than that, I think going to like Australia or New Zealand might be cool. Other places in Asia, like the Philippines or maybe like Thailand, China might be cool. I don't know. Mexico. There's lots of cool places in the world that I'd like to go. It's just kind of, I don't really have the means to go there right now because traveling is very expensive and I don't exactly have millions of dollars to spend, or thousands of dollars, I guess, to spend on travel and expenses, but hopefully one day. Next question here is the best, worst joke / pickup line that you know. To be honest, I don't really know that many. I know one from when I was in middle school, and I don't even remember if I know how it goes exactly, but I will try my best. I think it went along the lines of, hey, did you get that outfit on sale? Because at my house, it's 100% off. So yeah, take that how you will. Again, I heard that from somebody in middle school, so that's probably the worst one that I know. Or I guess the best worst one. I don't exactly stock up on pickup lines or jokes. So I hope that's good enough. Next question here is, what is something you are really passionate about? I would say I'm very passionate about creating audios. Like I said before, I'm pretty much thinking about creating audios every single day. And I didn't expect to get as passionate and like as into it as I have. So I think right now that's probably the thing I'm most passionate about, and I just wish I had, more time and more energy some days to put into it. Because the fact that I can't currently upload as much as I want to due to, a few different things that I won't go into, it does kind of suck a little bit. I try not to let it get to me and just kind of upload when I'm able to. And yeah, I do hope one day though that I'll be able to upload more frequently again. Next question is, if you could choose one mythical creature to become real, what would it be? Honestly, this might be kind of like a boring answer, but I feel like dragons are pretty cool. Now, would it realistically be cool if dragons were real? I don't know. They might fly around, might eat some people, might burn down a few villages or towns. I don't know. Is it cool? Or rather, is it a good idea for dragons to be real? Probably not. But I think they're cool, and I want them to be real. So, yeah, I'm going to pick a dragon, because I definitely know I don't want any sea monsters coming out of the ocean. So, yeah. Do you use any pop culture quotes frequently? And what are they? So, quotes from movies, TV shows, games, memes. Yeah, I think off the top of my head, I think SpongeBob is like a meme machine, and there's so many things you can quote from SpongeBob. I don't know if I can really think of anything off the top of my head, but stuff from SpongeBob, stuff from Shrek, The Emperor's New Groove, just like general memes, like popular memes. Like right now, like DJ Khaled has a lot of memes that are a lot of like quotes and random things that he says that I think are really funny. If you go like on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever, you can probably find them. As far as movies, I'm not really sure. I mean, I said like The Emperor's New Groove and Shrek, so I guess those two would be count as movies. Games, I don't really know. If there are any quotes from games, I can't really think of any right now. But yeah, I hope those couple that I did give will suffice, because those are the few that I can think of off the top of my head. The next question here is, do you play games, and if yes, what game have you spent the most hours on? Yeah, I do play games. I'm a pretty avid gamer. I've been playing video games since I was a kid. I'm majorly a PC gamer. I had some consoles and stuff when I was a kid, but yeah, right now I'm majority PC gamer. I like to play right now like Overwatch or Apex Legends. I'm really into shooter games. Valorant. What else? Like Fortnite. I'll play like ARAM on League of Legends sometimes. But the game I have the most hours on ever is RuneScape. I think I have over like 11,000 hours in that game across all the accounts that I've made. So definitely RuneScape is the game that I have the most hours on. And I really doubt that I'll ever beat that. So let's see here. The last question from Tori is, what is a musical artist / band that deserves more recognition? I would say, me personally, my favorite artist of all time is Oliver Francis. And I would say that he deserves more recognition because, he's not exactly the biggest artist in the world by any means. But if you like rap music, or he has like a couple other smaller projects that he's done that are not really rap. But, if you like rap music, I would definitely recommend him. Personally, I highly recommend his album Chlorine or Hijinks as like a starting point. Chlorine is my favorite album that he's ever put out. But personally, I really like all of his music. And like I said, he's my favorite artist. So as far as a band goes, I would say if you're into rock music, check out Dayseeker. They really have a lot of good music. Their latest album came out last year, so it's still pretty new, sort of. If you like more like post-hardcore rock music, check out Caskets. They just released a new album, and I really like it a lot. And all of their music is pretty good, so if you're into that sort of music, give it a shot, give it a listen, and if you do listen to it, let me know what you think, because, music, everybody loves music, and talking about music is great, so, yeah. And thank you, Tori, for your set of questions. I hope that I answered them okay, hopefully. But seriously, thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. The next set of questions here comes from Hope, who says, "Hey Brando, how are you? It's been so long and I'm so happy that you reached 1,000 subscribers, so let's go." Well, thank you so much, Hope. Let's see. Do some people that you know IRL know that you do ASMR? If yes, what do they think about it? I have told 2 of my friends And my mom kind of, sort of knows, but she doesn't really know, like, what it is exactly. But yeah, my friend who originally kind of gave me the encouragement to give it a try, she knows. My other friend who I kind of just told him on a whim. I was like, yeah, I make ASMR videos on YouTube. And he was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And that was kind of the extent of our conversation. And I didn't really say much other than that. So yeah, I think my two friends who know are supportive. They haven't shown any signs that they aren't. And my one friend who originally kind of pushed me to start, I do share updates with her and like milestones and stuff like that, and she's always very supportive, and I do appreciate it a lot and appreciate her a lot. So yeah, as far as my mom goes, she doesn't exactly know the specifics of what I like make on my YouTube channel here. She just knows that I record stuff with my voice and put it on YouTube. She doesn't really know the specifics or anything, but I'm sure if I was to tell her, she would be very supportive, just because she's very supportive of everything that I do and everything that I try and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm sure she would love it if I told her, but will that day ever come? I don't know. We'll see. The next question here is, do you have any pets? Yeah, I have 2 dogs. One is Black Lab and Bloodhound mixed, and the other, I can never remember her other half, but she is Chihuahua, and I want to say Lab mix. I don't know if I'm 100% correct on that, but I know one half is Chihuahua, and I'm pretty sure the other half is Lab, but I can never remember exactly what it is. But yeah, they're both girl dogs. They're both 10 years old, so they're on the older side, but they're good dogs. They're a little noisy sometimes, so that's kind of annoying sometimes, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Isn't it weird to you to listen to your own voice for editing and all? Not really. I think, or at least not anymore. I think I was one of those people because I would say majority of people don't like hearing their own voice, and I was like that for a long time, but I kind of took up video editing as another hobby last year before I started making audios, and I would hear my own voice a lot, and it was just kind of something that I got used to. And once I started making audios, I was so used to it that it didn't really bother me anymore. So it's just kind of something that I've gotten used to, and I don't really think about it all that much. But there was definitely a big portion of my life where I did not like listening to my own voice, like I'm sure a lot of people don't. It's just one of those things where I started hearing it so much that I just kind of got numb to it. So it's not really something I think about too much anymore. Do you find it weird that some people listen to ASMR artists' voices to help them sleep? Not at all. I don't think that's weird at all. You know, a lot of people listen to like music to go to sleep, or listen to like ambient music or ambient sounds to go to sleep, like, you know, ocean waves or rain, or, you know, whatever it is. And listening to ASMR artists to help you sleep is no different than that. I don't think it's weird at all. I'm one of those people who, like I said, I listen to it pretty much every night to help me fall asleep. I don't think it's should be considered a weird thing. If listening to audios helps you fall asleep or helps you relax in some way, then I think that's awesome. And the fact that some of you guys have commented on my audios that it helps you fall asleep, that's honestly like the biggest compliment I could ever receive. And it's an honor that something I made could help people fall asleep. It really it really warms my heart to read that sort of stuff, and I really appreciate when you guys tell me that sort of stuff, and to me it's just really awesome. So thank you to everyone who's ever commented that my audios help you fall asleep, or just, left a comment in general. I really appreciate it. What do you like the most in being an ASM artist? Well, I kind of just answered that, but I think hearing the feedback from people in the comment section and just getting to know people in the community, I guess, is definitely one of my favorite things. Reading your guys' comments that you leave on my videos really warms my heart and makes me happy that I started doing this in the first place. Just seeing supportive comments and feeling that sort of reassurance that I made a good choice in creating audios and they can help people in some way is very fulfilling and makes me feel really great. And it just makes me feel like everything is worth doing and worth putting all the time and effort into. And yeah, I wouldn't be here without you guys and your support. And all your comments really just make me feel really great. And I'm happy that my audios can be helpful in some way to you guys. And that is the most fulfilling thing I feel like I've felt in a long time. So yeah, I think that's what I like the most, is just feeling all the love from you all. So you guys say my videos help you and your comments help me, so thank you guys. Seriously. It does mean a whole lot. Last question here from Hope is there something you like about yourself and something that you don't like? Yeah, I think the kind of person that I am, I feel like, and I have been told by a couple people that I'm a very compassionate person. I'm very understanding and easy to talk to. So I feel like I'm very proud of myself, and I like that about myself. I think that's good qualities to have. Something I don't like about myself is, I guess, sometimes I'm way too hard on myself when I shouldn't be. And it's definitely something to work on, but yeah, I think that's probably the number one thing. I'm pretty hard on myself sometimes when I probably shouldn't be. But yeah, it is what it is. Well, I'm working on it, so only time will tell. Alright, and then the last thing here was thank you for reading this and maybe answering, and congratulations again. I remember when there was much less people here. I was wishing that you would get more popular because you deserve it. I'm happy it's happening. Keep going. Love you. Well, thank you so much, Hope, and thank you for asking these questions. I hope that I answered them alright, and yeah, thank you so much once again. The next set of questions comes from Bonnie, who says, Brando, 1K, congrats. You deserve even more. Your audios are literally the best, and I can't wait for your channel to get bigger. Oh, well, thank you, Bonnie. You're awfully sweet. And then here we go. First question is, first of all, how have you been doing? I hope everything is going all right. I would say that things are going about as good as they can at the moment. And, every day is different, but overall, I think I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing all right as well. Next question is, what or who inspires you, whether it is your audios or in general? I would say, in general, my people who inspire me are people like my grandma or my mom. Them two are the people who have inspired me the most in my life for a lot of different reasons. There's probably too many to go into, to be honest, but I would say my biggest inspirations are definitely them. Next question is, what are your favorite books? Oh gosh, to be honest, I haven't really read that much recently or at all. I just haven't really had the opportunity to just be able to sit down and read. And I've been trying to get back into reading more because there's a lot of great books out there, and reading I feel like is just kind of a good thing to do. Get your brain working, and it's kind of relaxing to read. I've never really been the biggest reader, but out of what I have read, I really enjoyed the Percy Jackson series. I read the first 2 books of I don't know if it's called the Pendragon series. You can probably find it if you Google that. I read the first 2 of those books like 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed them. I started reading the 3rd book, but I got kind of bored of it halfway through, and I never really went back to it. But I would like to pick it up again at some point and finish. And I have a lot of books just kind of laying around that I haven't read. But yeah, it's kind of hard to answer this because, to be honest, I haven't really read too much for quite a while. But I think Percy Jackson will always kind of hold a special place for me because I really enjoy Greek mythology, and there's a lot of it in that series. So I got a big enjoyment out of reading those for sure. What is your favorite music genre or artists, and your top 5 favorite songs? Oh gosh, I don't really know if I could pick 5 songs to put as like my top 5. That's like a really hard thing to do. I just really love music in general. So yeah, I don't know if I could necessarily pick a top 5 favorite songs, but I really enjoy rock music. I like heavy metal music. I like post-hardcore, rap, pop music, K-pop, R&B music. I just really enjoy music in general. I'm not a big fan of like EDM music. If I do listen to EDM music, it'll be the more kind of, I guess, house music or like relaxing EDM music. Like I used to listen to more dubstep style music kind of when I was in middle school or maybe like the early part of high school, but I don't really listen to that anymore. But yeah, I think overall I enjoy majority of the genres of music out there. Yeah, obviously I listen to some of it more than others, for sure. But yeah, I think overall my favorite genres would probably be, like I said, rock, post-hardcore, kind of heavier metal music and probably rap music would probably be the top genres for me. Favorite artist though, I think I said this earlier, but my favorite artist is Oliver Francis. I really like Breaking Benjamin, Caskets, Dayseeker. I really enjoy like K-pop groups. There's too many to name, but like BTS or ATEEZ or NCT. I really like Twice. Yeah, I don't know. There's just too many. There's too much good music out there. I can't really name them all, but hopefully that'll give you enough of an idea, I guess, as to what I'm into. Hopefully, hopefully I answered that okay. Next question is, do you play instruments or would you like to learn any? I don't anymore. In elementary school, I played the clarinet and I played the bass clarinet. But once I got into middle school, I kind of stopped playing music. And also I played drums in elementary school. I played percussion in like the school band. But once I got to middle school, I kind of stopped playing. I always thought learning guitar would be kind of fun and kind of cool. But currently, I am unable to play anything. I've kind of forgotten all of that. But I don't know, maybe in the future, I might pick something up and try to learn again. We'll see. What is on your bucket list? Oh gosh, honestly, I've never really given that much thought about it. Like, I don't have like an actual bucket list that I've like written down or anything. Definitely traveling is on there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like too many things that are, I guess, would be considered bucket list. And I've never really sat down and thought about it or wrote anything out. But traveling just to other countries and just experiencing the cultures in those countries, I think is probably the thing I want to do the most in my life, and hopefully will be able to do one day. What is something that always makes you happy/smile? Pictures of cute animals or like cute animal videos. It doesn't even matter what animal, as long as it's like cute in some way or wholesome. I think animal videos always give me a smile. My mom can always make me smile or make me happy. Same with my grandma. Music, random funny videos on YouTube, my friends. I do have a song I always listen to that never fails to make me smile, which is Heart Shaker by Twice. That song will always put a smile on my face, so yeah, I hope I gave enough examples or enough answers to that question. Next question here is, do you have a memory that makes you proud? To be honest, I can't really think of like anything other than like seeing YouTube comments that you guys leave on my videos telling me that either they helped you sleep or they were just helpful in some way. I feel like that makes those to me, I would consider proud memories that I hold and cherish, because if my audio, or I guess my audios in general, are in some way helpful for people, then to me, I feel very proud reading comments that tell me that sort of thing. So I think those are the memories that I'm the most proud of, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. If you were given the opportunity to study or work in anything you want, what would you like? Oh, to be honest, the only thing that comes to mind is just learning new languages. I only speak English. I didn't grow up with family members that spoke any other language other than English, so I never learned it that way. Like, I took Spanish and stuff in high school, but only little bits and pieces of that kind of stuck with me. So I think just learning languages in general would be something I would love to do at some point. And to be honest, that's probably the thing I want to learn the most throughout life, is just learning new languages. What would you say is your love language? To be honest, I'm not really sure. Off the top of my head, I would say probably stuff like words of affirmation, or just like spending quality time with a person. Physical touch is nice as well. But I think, like, overall, if I had to pick one, probably quality time with a person, I think, is what I would value the most as a love language. So, next question is, do you prefer the warmth or the cold? To be honest, I'm lean kind of more towards the cold. Fall and winter time, like, those are definitely my favorite seasons as far as the weather goes. I'm not a huge summer guy. Like, it's just too hot, and I would rather cuddle up with a blanket instead of blasting a fan or like the AC and sweating all the time. So I think I'm definitely prefer more of the cold weather than the warm weather. So yeah. And also, you can get all snuggly and comfy under a blanket and if it's cold, so I feel like that's pretty good. Let's see, the last question here from Bonnie is, what's your comfort food? Ooh, to be honest, I think anything my mom bakes is probably up there. My mom makes banana bread with chocolate chips in it, and it's really yummy, and it just, every time I eat it, I just can't get enough, At some point, if I was to make it, like, for myself, I would probably be like, this is pretty good, but I don't know if it beats mom's. But yeah, pretty much anything my mom bakes for me, or just bakes in general, doesn't necessarily have to be for me, but I think that's a pretty comforting food. But yeah, that was the last question from Bonnie. Thank you so much for asking these questions. I hope I was able to answer them all right. And then the last thing she said here is, congrats again. I'm so happy for you. You are one of the only 3 audio creators I listen to, and I really appreciate that you make actual comforting content. I hope for your channel to blow up like it deserves to. Oh, well, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. And wow, 1 of 3, that's pretty special. So I'm happy that you chose me to be one of those 3. Thank you so much. But yeah, on to the next set of questions here, which come from Allison. First question here is, how tall are you? I am 6 feet tall. I don't know what that is in centimeters for those of you who use centimeters, which is, I'm assuming, majority of the world other than America. I could be wrong on that, but I don't know. But yeah, do the little Google conversion calculator and you can find out for yourself how tall I am in centimeters, because I definitely don't know what the answer to that is off the top of my head. But yeah, I am 6 feet tall. When is your birthday? Actually, my birthday was pretty recently. My birthday is on August 6th. Let's see here. What was your favorite TV show as a kid? Oh, there were so many good TV shows. Oh, it's hard to pick like one favorite show. I think SpongeBob, honestly, was probably my favorite show, but there were so many good shows growing up. You know, you had the Disney Channel, you got Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, at least for America. Like, I'm sure it's different in every part of the world, but for me, you know, you had SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. Then you got like Disney shows like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana, The Proud Family, you know, stuff like that. And then Cartoon Network, you got like Teen Titans, Billy and Mandy. God, there's just too many shows. I can't even remember all of them because there are just so many good shows on, I feel like, when I was a kid. But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be SpongeBob. The next question here is, do you have any diseases? Weird question, I know. Not that I know of. And, I mean, I am, like, lactose intolerant. I don't know if you count that, but, yeah, I think that's the only thing that I have that I am aware of. Let's see. I don't know any other languages. That is the next question on here. I kind of already went over that, but yeah, I don't unfortunately speak other languages. I know like some random words or sentences in a couple of languages, but unfortunately I can't speak any language other than English fluently. I wish I could though. Next question here is, what did you enjoy the most about school/college? To be honest, I think just seeing your friends every day in school is probably the thing I miss the most because, you know, as you get older, seeing your friends as often as you once did gets more difficult as people get busy and life goes on. And, you know, just it's hard to make time sometimes to hang out with your friends, or at least in person. Obviously, with the internet and stuff like Discord or just texting, like, sure, you can talk to your friends, but actually physically seeing them and hanging out with them can be kind of difficult sometimes. But yeah, I think that's the thing I miss most about school, is just being able to see your friends every day. Favorite song? Oh, like I said earlier, it's kind of hard to pick like one favorite song or even like a top 5. I know last year on my Spotify Wrapped, my top song of that year was by Oliver Francis. It's called Secrets. So if you want to check that out, go for it. But yeah, it's really hard to pick like a one favorite song. I don't even know if I could if I really tried. But yeah. Next question here is, who was/is your motivation for doing ASMR? Well, like I've mentioned, like starting this was kind of just like a hobby and as a way for me to kind of use my voice to try and help people the best I can in some capacity. But I guess, in all honesty, like, you guys who listen to my audios are a big motivation and driving factor for me making them, because if nobody listened to them, then I probably wouldn't have continued making them. But I've been lucky enough that people have found my channel and have enjoyed my audios enough to stick around and keep listening to them. So you guys who listen to them and leave comments and just show support in whatever way you do, you guys are a big motivating factor and encouraging and just very sweet, and it makes doing this whole thing that much more enjoyable. Alright, the last question here from Allison is, what do you enjoy the most about editing? I think just being able to make something like as good as you can, and then having the end result or the final product, or whatever term you want to use for it, just having that final piece of the puzzle, or I guess finishing the puzzle that you're putting together. I don't know where I'm going with these analogies, but I think just that final product that you make is very rewarding, and it's fun to put it all together, and sometimes use sound effects or whatever it may be. Just the creativity, I guess, is what I find the most enjoyable and the most fun. And then, with audios, it's a little different from, say, if you're making like a vlog or something. Like, you can't really do any cool, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a little different. But like, if I was to edit a vlog, you could do like, a little more editing, like visually. But it is fun to try to incorporate some like sound effects if I feel like I want to, or if I feel like it could benefit, my audio could benefit from them. But yeah, I think just in general, the creativity of editing and then ultimately getting that final product is the most enjoyable part. Yeah, the last thing here Allison says is, these are my questions. Congrats for 1K subs. Thank you so very much, Allison, and thank you for asking your questions. I really do appreciate it, and I hope I answered them okay. Alrighty, the next set of questions here comes from Spicy, who says, "Hi, I'm late to the party, but I've got some silly ones for you." Alright, sounds good. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Let's see here. What is your eye color? I have brown eyes. My favorite flavor of ice cream. Ooh, this might be kind of plain, or I don't know, not that exciting, but I feel like personally I really like cookies and cream. To keep it pretty simple, I think cookies and cream is just really good. And to be honest, like, I really like just kind of plain flavors. And you start getting a little too fancy with all the flavors, like, they're definitely good, but I think just plain old cookies and cream for me is probably my favorite. If you eat meat, specifically beef, how rare/well do you like your steaks cooked? To be honest, I don't really eat steak that much, but I think getting something between medium rare to medium, probably medium rare, is probably how I would go about eating a steak personally. But yeah, I don't really eat steak that much, so I'm not really too sure, but I think I would probably go for a medium rare. Favorite type of wood in Minecraft? Oh gosh. I really like I think it's called dark oak, I believe is what it is. I just really like the sort of dark aesthetic, and then mix it within some like lighter colors. I don't remember all the names of the different types of woods in Minecraft, but I think it's called dark oak. I think that one is my favorite. I know it grows in like a really big tree. So, yes, I think dark oak would be my answer there. My favorite type of dinosaur? I don't know if I really have a favorite type, to be honest. I think T-Rexes are cool. Stegosaurus is pretty cool. Velociraptors are cool. I don't know if I necessarily have a definitive favorite though. But for the sake of the question, I'll pick a T-Rex. I think T-Rexes are pretty sweet. Next question here. Is there a sport/recreational activity that you would never ever do? Too dangerous, too scary, etc. Probably like rock climbing. I think rock climbing's kind of scary. And I personally would not probably do that. I don't know if we consider skydiving to be like a recreational activity. But if you consider that, like even that seems kind of scary, but I feel like at some point in my life, I would rather do that instead of rock climbing. Yeah, probably rock climbing I would probably never do. Or maybe like bungee jumping. You know, stuff like that. That's a no-go for me. Would you consider yourself a picky eater? I don't think I'm a picky eater. I think I'm pretty open and eating and trying new foods. Obviously the foods that I don't like, some people might say like I'm not a big fan of tomatoes. And I don't know, I feel like some people are like, oh, it's just a tomato, just eat it. Don't be such a picky eater. It's like, I don't like tomatoes, so I'm not going to eat them. But I guess it depends on the person, maybe. But I personally wouldn't consider myself a picky eater. I love trying new food. I mean, I can't necessarily guarantee that I'll like the food that I try, of course, but I think I'm a pretty open-minded eater. At least, I think so. Favorite Pokemon type? Okay, to be honest, I have never really played Pokemon. The only Pokemon game I've ever played is Pokemon Go. I didn't really grow up playing Pokemon. I watched like some of the TV shows and the movies growing up, but I never really played the game other than Pokemon Go when that came out. But if I had to pick one, and again, I'm sure will be conflicting opinions here, but I think fire Pokemon are cool. Like, I really love Charmander, Charizard. I think Magmar is kind of cool. I can't really think of any other fire Pokemon off the top of my head because, like, again, I didn't play Pokemon growing up, so I don't really know all the different types. But yeah, I think fire Pokemon are cool. Dark type Pokemon are pretty cool. I remember watching, I don't remember what Pokemon movie it was, but it was the one with Mewtwo, where Mewtwo first makes his appearance, and then Entei. I remember liking those two a lot, so I don't even know what type of Pokemon they are, but I just know that I thought they were super cool. But Charmander was my starting Pokemon in Pokemon Go, so yeah, I think fire Pokemon are probably would be my top choice there. What is your opinion about pineapple on pizza? Okay, so me personally, I do like pineapple on pizza. I know that's a bit of a hot topic, a bit of a debate around the world about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Me personally, I am a fan of pineapple on pizza. I have had bad pineapple on pizza. I've had really good pineapple on pizza. I think it just depends where you get it from. I think a lot of times when people say they don't like it, they just had bad pineapple on pizza. So, and then they kind of say, oh, all pineapple is bad on pizza. But then again, maybe they've had good pineapple on pizza as well and they still didn't like it. So, I don't know. If you don't like it, that's okay. If you do like it, that's good. I personally do enjoy it. I don't think I would get it by itself on pizza. I usually like to put some other stuff on there as well as pineapple, like different types of meat or vegetables. Yeah, I don't know if I would ever get it simply just pineapple as the topping, but I think paired with other stuff, it does taste pretty good. Not a question, but grab the closest book near you and turn to page 43 and 130. Read out the first couple sentences on both pages with no context. Okay, let me see. As time went on, people began to notice that Frodo also showed signs of good preservation. Outwardly, He retained the appearance of a robust and energetic hobbit, just out of his tweens. Some folk have all the luck, they said, but it was not until Frodo approached the usually more sober age of 50 that they began to think it queer. Next page here is page 130. Let's see. Suddenly, Tom's talk left the woods and went leaping up the young stream, over bubbling waterfalls, over pebbles and worn rocks, and among small flowers in the close grass and wet crannies, wandering at last up to the downs. They heard of the great barrows and the green mounds, and the stone rings upon the hills and in the hollows among the hills. Sheep were bleating in flocks, green walls and white roses. There were fortresses on the heights, kings of little kingdoms fought together, and the young sun shone like fire on the red metal of their new and greedy swords. Alright, there you go. I hope that was, I hope I did okay. Next question here is, do you have a guilty pleasure movie or a go-to comfort movie? Honestly, I think Lord of the Rings is my comfort movie, if I was to just think off the top of my head, but I have like a pretty decently sized collection of like DVDs and Blu-rays, and if I was to just pick any of those, honestly, they would probably be pretty comforting to me, just because they're all movies that I've picked out and bought for myself. So, but off the top of my head, I think the Lord of the Rings trilogy, just overall, is my comfort movie. Also movies like, I really enjoy the movie Friday with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. I think that movie's really good. Or the Barbershop movie that he made, I really enjoyed too. Trying to think what other movies there are that I could consider a comfort movie. I'm really bad at thinking of stuff off the top of my head. Yeah, unfortunately I can't really think of anything else right now, but definitely those couple movies that I listed I would definitely consider comfort movies for myself. Alright, next question here is, do you ever feel like a plastic bag, drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Well, yes, Katy Perry. As a matter of fact, I do. And I feel like everybody has moments like that. But, yeah, I do, Katy Perry. I certainly do. Next question here. When did you last drink a glass of water? You should probably do that. I've been drinking a lot of water while recording this AMA because there's a lot of talking and my throat gets pretty dry pretty quick from all the talking, so don't worry. I am making sure to drink water constantly while answering these questions. When is the last time you guys drank water? If you haven't drank any water recently, please go do that because staying hydrated is very important. What is your go-to condiment to eat with fries? Okay, honestly, I think this is like a pretty boring or basic answer, but I'm just a ketchup guy. Like ketchup and fries, you can't really go wrong with that. Sometimes ranch and fries is good, or sometimes I like to get a little crazy and mix my ketchup and ranch with fries. Now, some people have mixed opinions on that, but I think it tastes pretty good. Barbecue sauce and fries is good, but most of the time, I'd say like 99.9% of the time, I just go with ketchup because ketchup and fries is a classic combo and you can't really go wrong. Next question, have you ever committed arson? I can neither confirm nor deny at this time, and that is all. Do you have a main in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? To be honest, I don't really play Smash. The only time I really played Smash was growing up. I would go over to my neighbor's house and we would play sometimes, and I would always lose because she owned the game and played it a lot and I didn't. But I always liked playing Captain Falcon. I always thought Captain Falcon was pretty cool. So I guess if I was ever to play Smash Ultimate, then I would probably pick Captain Falcon. Next question here. Imagine, if you could undergo a procedure that would give you fully functional wings, what would you want them to look like? Shape, color, anatomical structure, etc. I think if I had wings like Hawks from My Hero Academia, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know if I'd want them to be red necessarily, but I think having wings like his would be pretty cool. Or some butterfly wings could be cool. But for the sake of this question, and considering it's the first thing that came to mind, I'm going to say wings like Hawks from My Hero would be cool. Although personally, I would probably pick a different color than red, like a light blue color, or maybe like a dark color, maybe like black, or maybe just do like some rainbow wings. I don't know. But for the sake of this, and considering it came to the top of my head first, I'm going to say wings that look like Hawks from My Hero. Alrighty, the last question here from Spicy is, which do you prefer? Scented candles, incense, or essential oil diffusers? I don't really use any of those that often, to be honest, but if I was to pick one, I would probably pick a candle. I think a nice scented candle really can go a long way in terms of just like kind of bringing up the mood or just making your room smell nice. So I've always kind of liked candles, even though I don't really use them that often. My mom likes to use candles a lot, so if I was to pick one, I'd probably pick a candle. Thank you so much, Spicy, for asking me all these questions. I hope I was able to answer them all right. Again, I'm answering all these questions kind of just off the top of my head without really thinking about them too much. So I hope I've been able to provide some okay answers for your guys' questions so far. But thank you so much for your questions once again, Spicy. I do appreciate it. Also, I just wanted to say quickly, thank you to, I want to say it's pronounced Thierry. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but I want to say it's pronounced Thierry, who asked, what made you start YouTube? And I know I kind of answered that question at the beginning of the video, but I just wanted to say a thank you for asking a question. Thank you so much. Alrighty, the next set of questions here comes from Casey. It says, hi, hope I'm not too late for the questions. I wrote a lot, but please just pick what you feel like answering. Alrighty, I will do just that. And thank you for asking all these questions. First question here is, if you could travel through time, would you want to go to the future or the past? And where would you want to go? I think I would probably prefer to go to the past. I don't know exactly when necessarily, but me personally, I feel like going to the past would be more enjoyable for me because, I don't know, to me, when I think of the past, I just think of like a simpler time just in general. Like there wasn't as much going on. There wasn't as much like technology and things like that, or any technology. And I think just the more progress that is going to be made from now until the end of time, like in the future, things will just get more complicated and there'll just be a lot more going on. Whereas like in the past, I feel like things were a lot more simple and a lot more easygoing in terms of like just life. Like there wasn't really a whole lot going on. And to me, that seems a lot nicer than kind of going into the future and maybe just being overwhelmed by everything and not really knowing what's going on. But yeah, I don't know an exact like time I would want to go to whether it was going to the past or the future. But for me, I think going to the past would be more enjoyable, personally. Alright, then the next question here is, if you could know one thing about yourself in the future, what would you want to know? This is kind of a broad answer, but I think I would just like to know if everything turned out okay, and just kind of how I'm doing in the future. Yeah. Next question here is, do you believe everyone deserves a second chance? Yeah, I think so. I think everyone is deserving of a second chance, and it's very telling about a person what they do with that second chance, because there's only, you can give a person as many second chances as you want, but ultimately, I think that first, second chance really kind of tells a lot about a person. And yeah, I don't know. I think everyone is deserving of one, but you can't keep giving people second chances forever. So it's really telling what they do with that first, second chance. But I think everyone deserves a second chance nonetheless. Next question here is, do you believe that the end justifies the means? To be honest, I don't know. I kind of took a second there to Google it and kind of get a more, or at least somewhat of a better idea of what exactly that phrase means. I guess it depends. It can depend on a lot of things. Me personally, I feel like so the definition that I find here is, morally wrong actions are sometimes necessary to achieve morally right outcomes. And to be honest, I don't know. I'm not really much of like a philosophical thinker. I just kind of go by the it is what it is sort of a mentality. So I don't know. I honestly don't really know if I have an answer for this question. Personally, doing morally wrong things or like morally wrong actions would definitely not feel right for myself. And it also depends like what sort of scale are we talking about? Like, are we talking about for me personally? Are we talking about for like the greater good of humanity? I don't know. Again, I'm not really one to think like super philosophical things, or just, I'm not much of a philosophical thinker. So to be honest, I don't really know if I have an answer for your question. And sorry about that, but that's just kind of my answer, I guess, is I don't know, to be honest. I guess that's my answer. I don't know. Do you think effort matters more than the result, or the other way around? I think the amount of effort you put in is ultimately going to affect the end result for whatever it is. So in a way, I think the effort you put in can be more important than the end result, because you're only going to get as much out of it, as much effort as you put in. And I think it's important to take things day by day rather than to only look at like the end result of something, because the old sort of adage of the journey is more important than the destination. And I think that is pretty true. So I think it is important to look at the effort you're putting into things, and the end result will get there when it gets there. So yeah, I think the effort you put in is probably more beneficial than focusing solely on the end result, because ultimately the effort you put in determines how the end result is going to turn out, And everybody's efforts are different, and you can't always give the most amount of effort every single day. You do what you can every single day, and if sometimes it's a little less than the day before, or even a little more than the day before, every small amount of effort you put in matters, and if it ultimately can help you reach your end result, then I think that's what's important. Next question here is, what do you think is the meaning/purpose of life? Oh goodness. I think, at least right now in my life, I think my purpose in life, or just the general purpose of life, is to live the best life that I can every single day. Obviously that's a little easier said than done, but I think doing things to make yourself happy and to just make yourself feel good, and doing what you feel is right for you, and being the best version of yourself that you can be, should, or maybe not should, but at least for me, is like important and is something I strive for. Obviously everybody might think a little differently than I do, and that's totally okay. I don't expect everybody to think the way I do or see things the way I do. We're all individuals with our own thoughts and feelings about everything, but I think the meaning of life is to just try and be as happy as you can be with the time you have, because ultimately, one day we won't be here, and I think it's important to try and live our life the best we can and be as happy as we can be. Next question here is, do you think white lies are acceptable? Yeah, to a certain extent I think they are, but I think the more you tell little white lies, the more you tend to feel that it's okay to maybe lie in general. So, obviously everybody tells little white lies here and there. So I think to a certain extent they are okay. But for me, I try to be as truthful and as honest as I can be. Not to say that I haven't told little white lies here and there, but I don't know, I feel like the more you tell them, the more simple it becomes to lie just in general. So I try not to do it too often, but that's not to say that I haven't done it before. The next question here is, would you want to be able to read people's mind? I think maybe as a kid I would want to be able to, but right now, I don't think I would want to be able to read people's mind, because I don't really know if I'd want to always know what people are thinking, or have the ability to know that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it just feels kind of like if somebody wants to tell you something, then they'll tell you. Or if they want to wait until they feel like it's the right time to tell you something, then you should let them. So, I don't know. I think there are pros and cons to being able to read people's minds. But I think for now, or at least right now as an adult, I probably would not want that sort of ability. Next question here is, which fictional world would you want to live in? If I can pick a video game world, if that counts, I hope that counts. Honestly, I'd probably just like to live in like a Minecraft or like a Stardew Valley or some sort of farming simulator type of game world, because it feels like that sort of world would be very relaxing and just kind of, pretty chill. So if you'll accept that answer, I think a world like that would be pretty fun to live in. I was trying to think of like a book or like a movie or something type of world, but the first thing that popped in my mind were video game worlds. So I hope that's an okay answer. All right, and then the last question here from Casey is, what would you want to be remembered for? In all honesty, I think I would like to be remembered for being a kind and caring person. I've had a handful of people, if not a little more, tell me that I'm very compassionate and caring and kind and just a very sweet person. And I think it's kind of gotten to that point where enough people have told me that I kind of am starting to believe it. So I hope that whenever the day comes that I'm not here anymore, that I will be remembered for being that sort of person. But yeah, thank you, Casey, for asking me all these questions. Sorry I skipped some of them. I was trying to think of an answer for some of them, for the ones that I skipped, but I just could not think of anything. But I hope the questions that I did answer were that I gave okay answers to them. But thank you so much for asking all these questions. I really do appreciate it a lot. Alrighty, the next question here comes from Blossom, who asks, do you have a favorite genre when it comes to audios? Like horror or comfort / reassurance, romance, fantasy? You are amazing and congrats on 1K. A proud subscriber. Well, thank you so much, Blossom. I really appreciate you asking a question and leaving some kind words. I really do appreciate it a lot, and I'm happy to have you here. But yeah, I think me personally, like you mentioned, I really enjoy the comfort / reassurance audios myself. I'm a big fan and kind of a sucker for sort of like friends or best friends to lovers audios. Or even like, I think enemies to lovers can be really fun and cute to listen to. I really like sort of roommate audios. I think those are really fun to listen to. I think general just like sort of encouraging or maybe like motivational in a way sort of audios can be really nice to listen to. Like if it's a sort of friend scenario and they're kind of trying to lift your spirits, I think those are really nice. As far as like recording audios, I'm try to focus mainly on comfort audios for my channel, just because I really enjoy recording those style. Whether it's like a boyfriend sort of audio or like a roommate or a best friend. I know majority of my audios kind of are boyfriend themed, and to be honest, I never really intended for it to be that way, but that's just kind of what ended up happening, I guess. But I'm happy that people like them, and I'm not gonna like stop doing them or anything, but I do want to try to incorporate more different, like, I guess, scenarios, whether it's like roommates or friends or maybe like your brother's friend or stuff like that. So, I'm thinking about different sort of scenarios or situations that I can incorporate into my audios, and I hope you'll enjoy them when they come out, when I do get around to making them. But yeah, I think me personally, for listening to audios, I'm kind of in the boat of comfort and reassurance personally, or even like sleep aid. I totally forgot about that until just now. Sleep aid audios are amazing, and I listen to those sorts of audios a lot to sleep, like I'm sure many of you do as well. But yeah, sleep aids are great to both record and listen to as well. But thank you so much, Blossom, for asking a question. I really do appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. Alrighty, we have reached the finish line almost. The last set of questions here comes from Chaco, who asks, or rather who says, Congratulations on 1K. I have arrived from your birthday stream, and you mentioned that the AMA is still open, so here I am. I don't think I've ever participated in Q&As before, so I'm not really sure what to ask, but here are some questions. Alrighty. What do you do outside of YouTube? If these questions are too personal, you don't have to answer them. Well, I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. But outside of YouTube, currently, I don't really do a whole lot. I don't have a job at the moment due to a couple reasons that I won't really dive into, but I'm currently unemployed, so my day-to-day is kind of random, but I do like to go on walks. I like to play video games. I like to watch movies and anime when I have the time. I like to ride my bike and just kind of hang out with my dogs or hang out with friends. I don't really have a lot going on at the moment. Next question here is, what is/are your goals for the channel? I don't really have any sort of like big goals or grand scheme goals or anything like that. My only real goal is the same one I kind of had when starting out, which is to hopefully use my voice to provide comfort or relaxation or just general sort of coziness for people through audios. Yeah, I don't have any sort of like numerical subscriber goals or anything like that. I think my main goals are just to provide the best audios that I can, and hopefully just people will enjoy them. And I've reached 1,000 subscribers now, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that some people at least do enjoy them, and I really get a kick out of that, and it's really heartwarming to read all your guys' comments, and I really appreciate when you guys leave comments on my videos because, they give me a boost as much as my audios maybe help you guys out. Yeah, my main goal is just to hopefully provide comfort and smiles through my audios. So, yeah, nothing too crazy or outlandish or anything like that, but that is my main goal with this channel. Let's see, next question here. What time of day and where do you record your audios? So, majority of the time, unless I'm home alone, I will record my audios at night, like pretty late at night, like 11 p.m. and onward, basically, because throughout the day, it's pretty noisy. I live on a pretty noisy street, unfortunately. There's a lot of dogs in the neighborhood that like to bark, including my dogs. And just generally, my house is kind of noisy throughout the day. So, majority of the time, I will record at night. So, if I ever sound a little tired or sleepy, I guess, that's probably why, is because I record at nighttime, like 95 to 99% of the time. But funnily enough, right now, I'm recording in the afternoon, which is pretty rare. It's pretty quiet here because I'm home alone, so I have some time to myself to kind of just sit down and record and answer your guys' questions. But yeah, majority of the time I record at night, and I just record in my bedroom. I have a little corner in my room where I can just sit down at the desk and record. And yeah, I mean, I think it works pretty well. At least I hope so. But yeah, nothing, I don't have like some big fancy studio or anything like that. I'm just a guy sitting in his room, recording audios. Sometimes I'll lay in bed and record, but most of the time I'm at my desk. Next question here is, what's your favorite comment you have received? I don't think I necessarily have like a singular comment that is necessarily my favorite or anything like that. I'm very grateful and feel very blessed just to receive comments in general from people. So I don't think I necessarily have like a distinct favorite comment. All of your guys' comments and pretty much all of the comments that I've ever received on any of my audios have been very supportive, very wholesome, very just kind and sweet comments. And I'm very grateful to everyone who leaves comments, whether it's just saying hello or telling me how my audio maybe made you feel or how it helped you fall asleep or just general supportive comment. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just very grateful for all the comments I've received, and I really love reading all your guys' comments, and it makes me feel good to read them and just kind of feel the love through the comment section. I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point, but just overall, I'm very grateful that you guys leave comments on my videos, and it really warms my heart that you guys enjoy my audios enough to leave a comment. And if you're listening to this and maybe you've never left a comment or you've thought about it and you just decided not to for whatever reason it is, I do my best to read all the comments and reply to them. Sometimes I can't reply to all of them, but I always try and leave a little heart for you guys on your comment just to let you know that I've seen it and read it. But if you haven't commented and you would like to, even if you just want to say hello or be like, hey, I really enjoyed your audio, I do appreciate all the comments. No matter how lengthy the comment is, I really do appreciate them a lot. And obviously, if you don't want to leave a comment, you don't have to. I'm not trying to pressure anyone into leaving a comment, but the comment section are generally very wholesome and welcoming. And, I love reading your guys' comments. And yeah, I think I'll just kind of leave it at that, or else I will continue to ramble. So I will move on to the next question now, which is, do you wear glasses? I have a prescription for glasses, and I probably should wear my glasses, but I currently do not wear them really ever. I'll sometimes wear them if I'm driving at nighttime, but yeah, I have a prescription for glasses that I do not wear, which is probably not a good thing, but I don't know. I don't really feel like I need them that often. Sometimes if I read, I'll wear them, but to be quite honest, I don't even know where my glasses are, so yeah, I guess I couldn't really wear them even if I wanted to at the moment. I should probably find them. But yeah, I don't wear them. I probably should, is the moral of the story there. And then the last thing here, the last question from Chaco is, what is your favorite thing about yourself, appearance or personality? To be honest, I'm not sure. I guess appearance-wise, I guess I'm pretty tall, so that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't really know if that's a good thing or not. I don't know. I've only ever been as tall as I have been, so I don't really know life any other way. I just know I'm as tall as I am, and that's just kind of how it is, and I guess to some people that matters. Other people, I'm sure it doesn't matter, but I guess for some people being 6 foot is a good thing. I don't really think about it. As far as personality wise, I think I'm very proud of myself in the way that I treat people, and I feel like I said earlier, I've been told I'm a very compassionate and kind person, and I'm very easy to talk to. And these are all things that I've been told by other people. I'm not just giving myself these sort of character traits, but these are all things I've heard from people. And I think I've kind of gotten to that point where I've heard it enough that I started to believe it and started to see that it is pretty true. But I think my favorite thing about myself is the kind of person that I am. And I hope I can stay that way forever. But yeah, that was the last question from Chaco, and she ends it here with, "All right, that's all. Have a good day, baby girl." Thank you, Chaco, for asking these questions. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, for those who don't know, on my birthday stream, if you weren't there, the people there in the stream started calling me baby girl. I don't really know why. I can't remember, but I guess it's not the worst thing to be called. I think it had to do with me being, from what I can remember, I feel like they were calling me precious and too wholesome or something along those lines. So they started calling me baby girl, and it's not the worst thing in the world to be called, I guess. I guess it's a pretty good nickname. But yeah, thank you, Chaco, again for asking these questions. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I think this is the last question that I had, just in general. So yeah, I think that this is sort of the end of the AMA. And I just want to say thank you again to everybody who asked questions. I do appreciate you taking some time to ask a question or multiple questions. I'm sorry if I skipped any of your guys' questions. If I did, I probably just couldn't think of an answer for the question, or it was a repeat of a question that had already been asked. But I did try my best to answer all of the questions that were asked, and I hope I answered them all right. I did try and answer them to the best of my ability. But thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I think at the time of recording this, I'm a little bit over that now by like 100, if not more, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I started this with no sort of goal or intentions for like a subscriber count by any means, and I still don't really have anything like that. I'm just kind of taking it a day at a time, a week at a time. And yeah, I never thought that I would reach any sort of milestone like this. In all honesty, I never really thought anybody would listen to my audios or even hear them. So to even think that I reached a milestone like 1,000 subscribers is pretty crazy. It's kind of unbelievable in some ways, and yeah, I am just really grateful for all you guys here. And thank you for listening to my audios, and thank you for showing support in any way that you do, whether it's leaving a comment or leaving a like on any of my videos, or maybe sharing the video with friends or whoever you want to share them with. I really appreciate it a lot, and it really means a lot to me that you guys listen to my videos and enjoy them. And yeah, I really don't know what else to say other than that. Just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing your support in any way that you do. Yeah, I think I will try and end this video now, because if I don't, I will continue to ramble on, and I'm sure some of you would probably enjoy that, but I feel like I should try and wrap this thing up. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It'll definitely be well over an hour for sure, if not 2 hours. I don't really know. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate it. I hope to continue to make audios that you guys will enjoy. And yeah, that's about all from me. Thank you so much once again for being here and just supporting me and listening to my audios. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next audio. Bye bye.